Hey guys, I'm the Maha Mechanic, and today we are going to be replacing a brake booster in this Porsche 944. So, let's get into it. So, we're going to start by removing our master cylinder, which is right here, our reservoir, and all the lines that attach to it. So, to make as little mess as possible, I'm gonna take my little suction tool and suck out as much as I can brake fluid from the reservoir. You can do that with a turkey baster or whatnot, but I'm just gonna do that, and I should be able to pop that off. Alright, now we're going to remove these electrical connectors. Brown is on the right, black and white or yellow is on the left. That's brown. Now we're going to remove this. We're going to loosen this little clamp here. And then whittle it off, I think. At least try to. Wait, here we go. Side off. There we go. Alright, now we can remove our master cylinder here. And first I'm going to remove the brake lines going to it. So there's one here, here, and here. And then once we remove those, there's two nuts here, and that should just come right off. I'm going to use a 7/16 and remove these hard lines. Oh, wrong way. Alright, now we're ready to remove these, looks like 13mm nuts, and the brake booster will come right, or the master cylinder will come right off. Alright, and there's our master cylinder. So let's set this aside. I'm going to replace all the seals on here later when I reinstall it. Alright, now it's the fun part. We're going to have to go underneath the dash and remove the input shaft from the brake pedal, and then remove the nuts of the brake booster as well. So if we look right there, connected to our brake pedal, that right there is the shaft from our brake booster. Now I thought there was like a little twist tie or something on it, but there's not. So I'm just gonna get a screwdriver and pry off that little where that paint is. I'm gonna pry that off and see what happens. Alright, so I wasn't able to get that clip right there off because it's rested on there, but I was able to get that nut off. So this little yoke part will stay on, but I've removed the shaft and everything. Now it's time to remove. There's 3 bolts that hold the brake booster in from the back. There's one here, one right there, and one above behind that stuff up there. I did rip that piece off just so I could get to that easier right there. So yeah, there's those. I just pushed this back. You can see back there, and then there's one above, up underneath there. You can kind of see that indent with the light up there, right there. Right there, you can see the indent. So yeah, I'm gonna remove those, and the brake booster should be able to be pulled out. All right, now I'm gonna remove all of our little hoses and lines. Ouch. Oh, that just broke off. Good thing I'm replacing that. Oh, Jesus. All right, now we should be able to All right, so it was just stuck in there pretty hard. So I got a pry tool and kind of just pried it off. And then I got one stud out and then kind of just yanked it. And then the rest of it came out. So that's good. Here's our old one. And you see why I'm replacing it. It's got a, I don't know how that even got there. A freaking ginormous dent in the side of it. But yeah. Anyway. We're gonna remove this back plate because the new one I have doesn't come with this, but just 4 bolts, the back plate will come off, and we'll reinstall it to our new one. And this one's all rusted and crap. So yeah. So now it's time to reinstall or install our new brake booster over here. I got this kit from 944 online, comes with all the 4 bolts that you need to put on the little adapter connector piece on there, and the gasket that goes between those two. So let's get that piece on. It's over here. Let's get this piece on there with the gasket in between, and yeah, then we can get ready to throw this thing on the car. All right, so I just got the new gasket and the little adapter plate on. This one that I bought comes with a grommet already in the check valve hole, but if you don't have that grommet, you're gonna have to reuse the one that's in the old booster. So here's the one I pulled out of the old booster. It's fairly simple, just get your finger in there and kind of just rip it out. But you might want to order a new one if yours is like cut on the inside. This one's not, so I could have reused this if I didn't have one already in the booster itself. So I have a new check valve. I'm not gonna reuse the old one because I snapped this little nipple off a while ago. So I'm gonna install the new check valve. All right, you just push that thing in there. It's pretty simple. Now that you have that check valve in there, we're ready to put this thing back on the car. So let's do that now.
Did you talk to Ryan at all today?
No, why?
All right, there we go. We got it set in place. Now we can go on the inside and in the footwell and reinstall our 3 bolts, or 3 nuts, sorry.
All right, so I got the booster all tightened down and everything. It was pretty interesting getting this thing on just because of the way I took the old one off. Since I was unable to remove that clevis that attached to the brake pedal. I wasn't able to remove that clip because it was rusted on there, so I had to kind of twist the booster out of the clevis. So getting it back in there was definitely interesting. I will say that having the right wrench, because it uses an 8mm wrench, the shortest wrench that you have, the better, because you can kind of get in there from the bottom and kind of twist it up to the top and keep going, and then eventually it'll thread itself in. But yeah, that was just a little tedious being under there and whatnot. But everything's in, and I've got
my little vacuum line routed here. I'm gonna get the brake master cylinder on. So before I do that, I did order some new little grommets or whatnot for the reservoir, just to replace these two on the top here. So I also bought like apparently I bought 3 of these things. I bought one because I didn't think it was going to come with, the booster was going to come with it, but it did. And then I bought the seal kit from 944 Online, and that also came with one. So yeah, I've got 3 of these now. Anyway, we're going to remove that, set this aside. This is probably really good. Still doesn't need to be replaced, but I'm going to replace it anyway. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Looks a little dirty to me. And I'm going to take these seals out and replace them with the new ones. So I'm going to cut to when I'm getting this thing on the car. All right, so I'm just going to remove this little plastic cover, I think. There we go. And then move our hard lines out of the way and slide this bad boy on in there. There we go. All right, now I'm going to reinstall our bolts. There we go. We got that tightened down and everything. Now we're ready to put on our hard lines again, and then slap on our reservoir, and then start bleeding the brakes. Almost done. All right, so I just got all the hard lines put back in. One thing with this, make sure all your hard lines are out from behind the booster when you go to put it back in. I had that one up there. It was behind the booster when I tightened everything down, so I kind of had to bend it underneath and kind of unbend it up, and it made it so that it wouldn't really want to fit back in. But I got it. I got everything working again. So just something to keep in mind when you're doing this. Anyway, now that we have that on, we can get our reservoir, throw that back on, and then put our connecting tube from our clutch master cylinder to our reservoir. And then we're on to bleeding, which I might do a separate video on. So yeah, let's do that now. All right, so I just lubed up these 2 nubs with motor oil, and I'm just gonna plop this bad boy on there, all the way. All right, so that's on there, I believe. Now we're going to take this and route it all the way down to clutch master cylinder. It sits just about right here. All right, so we got yellow on the left and brown on the right. Reinstall our electrical connectors. There we go. Now all we need to do is fill it up with some fluid, and then we're off to the races. So yeah, if you found this video informative, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more. Remember, no matter experience or your skill level, keep on improving.